difficulties, but fucking A, here we are. Fucking did it.
We are here.
We're back.
Fucking
in business.
did it. Nashville Bobby. There we go. Let's fucking do it this time.
I am back. I am back and
back
better than ever. Well, not better than ever,
Again.
but I'm back. I'm back from the most interesting experience of my life.
Can you get closer to the mic?
Sure.
Thanks, babe. Yeah, but pull up the chair if you need to.
Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, nice, loud and clear. When was
Surprising.
your flight to leave?
The flight to leave was on like the 19th. That was like Thursday at like 5 a.m. I had to wake
shit.
up. Couldn't sleep. No sleep that night.
Crazy.
Hop on a flight at like Lapine, Newberry. Hop on a flight and Dennis at about, I think the flight left at 5:22. Absolutely exhausted.
What time did you guys get to the airport at?
Maybe 2:30
Holy shit.
a.m. No sleep. Just
God.
ready to go.
Giddy.
Adrenaline pumping, like just
You guys drink some
off
beers
Red
before?
Bull. No beers before. I didn't have my first beer until I got in to Nashville, and I like figured out.
What time did you guys get there at?
We didn't get there till like probably 4 o'clock. And like
PM? 4 p.m.
4 p.m.
So you
Holy
had like a 12-hour like journey?
It was
13-hour.
No, I'm actually dragging it. It was more like, I think we got in at like 11, but I woke up at 4 o'clock from the Airbnb.
Oh, okay, I see.
Okay, a lot of this story that I'm gonna tell you, and the best part about this is the only reason I know that some of these things happened is from Dispo.
Somebody told you.
It's just seeing Dispos. The whole trip is documented through these Dispos, right? So like there's 1,000 of them, and like parts that I don't remember that happened, I will see the Dispo, and I like the memory comes back of like, oh my god, this happened.
Yeah.
Like just like the whole trip is documented that way, and it's just like, because some of these nights, like I woke up the next day and I'm just like, how did I get in this bed? Where am I? I woke up the one night I like woke up on like the floor basically.
And you were just like, what?
The last night I wake up and like just absolutely like we went out last night.
Blacking out?
A ton of blacking
lot of
out. But
browning.
then piecing it together the next day
Wow.
from either people saying like, dude, you weren't right, or like just seeing the dispos, and I was like, I remember that. I remember talking to that person. The best part is like the whole time I'm just like talking to all of these people, and it's just like, you got this. And they're like, you got this accent, and I'm just like, what are you talking about? And they're just like, howdy, partner. Like, yeah, where are you from? And like, I will say,
develop the accent?
no, I didn't
the
develop.
trip?
They said that I had an accent, a New York accent, like over and over again. They could just point me out, and they're just like, "Where are you from?" And I'm just like,
You ain't from here, boy.
I'm like
these
fucking with
parts.
everybody. I'm just like, "Oh, I'm from Idaho." Just like fucking with people. Like, dude, the things I was saying to people, a lot of the people would just walk right away from me. Like, fuck this kid. Who the fuck is this guy? Like, the fuck, and like. The one night I wore out like the cowboy boots and the button-up shirt, and like you could just tell I was trying to play the part, but I just couldn't.
You're flexing.
Oh
it
my
was-
God.
Because
you had
I'm
cowboy
not even
boots and
close to
everything?
a cowboy. They're not. They were like Chelsea-ish cowboy boots.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They weren't full, but you could tell what part I was trying to play, and I can't play that part. I'm just not like country. You know what I mean?
You
Like
can
I'm
pull
just
it
not-
off at the cowboy, but not down in fucking Cowboyville.
No.
You ain't
Not in the
cut
actual-
from the same cloth?
So like the
Same hide.
The one night was the most interesting because we went to this like party that Dave's dad was performing at. It was like this block party, and it wasn't in Nashville. It was like in a town over that you could tell when we left downtown Nashville. We're driving around like Tennessee. We're like,
You ain't in Kansas.
this is
no
gonna
more.
be something because these people are. Like, you know how you're like in the back hills of places
Yeah.
and you could like see the real
And you're
people
like,
that live
wow.
there?
Yeah,
You're not in
You're looking at
Nashville
the
anymore.
lipstick version, and then you're looking like the
Yeah.
next morning
So,
version.
So
like,
fucking Lockport.
Now you're like in it and we're just like, this is going to be something unforgettable here. Like, what's good? So we walk in this guy's backyard.
It's a fucking
like
clan
this big-
meeting.
Yeah, it's like, literally, it could be a clan meeting. Like, we walk in, there's this like pool where like Dave's dad's performing, like he's performing on this pool. Like it's this weird ass block party, like the weirdest thing I've ever seen. And the people there, you could tell, were just like staring at us, like, who the fuck? Like, who are these? And I'm wearing like a
Record
Nike
scratch, yeah.
t-shirt. Like, what the hell is it? They're wearing cowboy hats. First person that
You had a
comes up to
cowboy
me.
hat on when you went
No,
to this?
they had cowboy
Oh,
hats
okay.
on. I'm just in, regular what I usually wear, like Nike shirt, Nike shorts.
Yeah.
First person that comes up to me is this girl. She's probably like, she could have either been 18 or 40. I can't tell. Like the way this girl looks, I'm just unsure.
Yeah.
Comes up to me, hey, she's like, how are you doing? And I'm just like, here we go. Like, I've been waiting for something like this to happen. Like, this girl was the most unattractive.
You're already pretty drunk? You're drunk?
I was drunk for days. Like, I was never not.
Was this the first night?
This was the last night. So I'm jumping ahead.
Okay.
However, this is
I'm
one of the
blacking out.
largest. This is the most recent thing that I could remember in the weirdest, most country.
Let's work backwards from your memory. Yeah.
Yeah, like basically the things that I have to piece together. Like the bar thing, I could, that's a completely different thing.
Yeah,
but this
coming.
is like not a bar thing. This is like Tennessee culture, basically, of what I'm trying to get at here.
Okay.
So this girl comes up to me, how you doing? What's your name? And like Newberry's standing next to me. I'm like, my name's Bob. Newberry's like, my name's Bob. And she's like, you're fucking with me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're, and I'm like, we swear to God, like we're like, what's your name? She's like, my name is Tabby Sue. And she said, when she said that, I almost started crying. And I'm just like, there's no way.
Did you laugh? Did you laugh?
I laughed so hard. And like right after this girl, she's like, what? And I'm just like, are you joking right now? She's like, you know what I mean? First she said we're joking, and then I'm just like, there's no way your name is Tabby Sue. And then I looked at her and I'm like, maybe it is, because we're in Hicksville. This place might have been called Hicksville. It was like something along the lines of like somethingville, Tennessee.
It's just like,
Yeah, like who the fuck are you? Why are you at my like block party house here?
At my meeting.
Yeah.
And we're just like all standing there. We're just like completely out of place.
Yeah.
Okay, and like these people's house that we were at had this like cornhole league. Right, so we're like thinking like, dude, we're gonna fuck on these kids.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way these people know how to play cornhole.
oh God.
Turns out,
They
I
don't-
have never seen people of this category in cornhole in my life. I have never, in my life, seen people this good at cornhole. These people like, we hop on.
It's like
they're
awesome
just like,
song.
yeah, but they're just like, you know how like you just hit them in like three.
Yeah.
Almost every time it's just like in.
Oh my
and we're like
God.
missing the board, and
It's
they're
like you're
just
trying
like,
to like bowl with like
Yeah.
professionals.
yeah,
right?
and they're just like hitting the board, like we're hitting it off the board, like going too far. They're just like hit on, slide in, hit on, slide in, and they could do it to the point where like if they don't need to put it in because they knew they were gonna fuck us over anyway, they could like put it right in front of the hole.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So we're just like looking at each other like, we gotta go. Like there's nothing here for us except for Mr. Gariano's performing. And we're just like standing there awkwardly. This guy comes up to me. He's like, sits next to me. He's got a prosthetic leg. He just takes a seat next to me, smoking a cig, and he's just like, I'm like, what happened? Like,
You said that?
and like thinking about it after me saying that, I'm like, I'm a fucking cock. Like, but the way he like sat down next to me, just kind of like asked me about
Plopped it on your
He's
lap.
like, look at here. Look at here.
asked me about it. So, I'm like, how? And he's like, diabetes. And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And he's like, yeah, do you do any drugs? I'm like, what do you mean by that? He's like, do you do any drugs? And I'm just like, no. I'm just like so like weirded out to this whole situation of just being in the middle of nowhere. Like if they would all left me, there's no chance I'm getting home.
Yeah.
Or
Alive,
even
yeah.
back to Nashville. I don't know where I am.
Yeah.
So we left. Me and Nick getting an Uber. We're like, and Ben and all them are playing. We're just like, dude, we're getting out of here. Like this could go terribly wrong. We could get shot. Like this
Cornered
is,
by those fuckers.
we could get a revolver to the mouth right now.
Oh, yeah,
like one of these.
Or a
like,
fucking
"You're
cock
not-
in the
you're
mouth."
You're not from here. Some of these people look so inbred.
Yeah. Someone's gonna get mad over you fucking their sister. So
Yeah.
And then there's just some Canadian girl that walks up to me. Somehow she's from Canada, but she still has a Tennessee accent.
Oh, that's
And I'm
weird.
just like, she's talking to me about COVID and like throwing out all these facts that like are not true, and like talking to me about how don't get the vaccine. I'm just like looking at her. I'm like, you think I came here to talk about politics?
Yeah, literally, I am drunk. Like, can you stop?
Do I look like I want to talk about politics? I'm just like hammered, like swaying, doing my little sway when you get drunk. You think I want to talk about politics right now? I was like talking to me about like Trudeau, and I'm just like, fuck that guy. I'm belligerent. I'm like saying ridiculous things. Like
If they're gonna say ridiculous things, you might as well match the energy, right?
you have to match the energy. They were getting like angry at me
Jesus
to
Christ.
the point where like.
Yeah.
Was the legged guy, was he trying to make innuendos to like get you to do drugs with him or get drugs from
I
you?
think that he wanted me to do drugs with him because he kept like saying like, "What do you do?" And I'm just like, "I'm a teacher." He's like, "I'm like, what do you do?" And he didn't tell me what he did.
He didn't have no fucking
So that was a
job.
red flag. I'm like, "What do you mean you don't do anything?"
Yeah.
So what do you have? You never found out.
I never found out because
Never
I
got
was
the
just
bottom
like
of
so
the stitch?
sketched out
Pins and needles.
that I just was
You got,
like,
like,
we have
ketamine,
to.
but, like-
This is like a 30-minute Uber ride outside of Nashville. Like the Uber driver's like, I have never been here before, and I'm just like, That's not a good sign. However, when we did walk in the backyard, the guy was from Buffalo, so that's why like we were there. He had a Bills flag.
Oh shit! That's
I walk
dope.
in his house to grab beer. He's got a Max Gun jersey hanging
No
up,
way.
and I'm just like, dude, you're my fucking. I'm like, how do you like? You're my hero. I literally just got like a couple weeks ago this like $500 Max Gun jersey.
No way, really.
And it's hanging in my room now. It's just like one of the limited edition red ones. Yeah, so I'm like talking to the guy about it. Like that's the only thing that I had in common this whole time. Then some dude comes up to me. Guy's got dreadlocks, and he's like, "Are you the guy who's stealing my beer?" And I'm just like, "What are you talking about?"
Is that
I'm
a
not
white guy
stealing
with
your beer."
dreadlocks?
No.
Oh, okay.
So, are you the guy who's stealing my seltzer? And I'm like, no. And the dude was from Buffalo too. And I'm like, I'm not stealing your seltzer. Like, I'm clearly drinking Mick Ultra. It's like the only thing I drank. He's like, I don't know, man. And I'm like, okay, what's gonna
Yeah,
like? What do you want? What do you
yeah.
want to have? He's like, you're in my house. Like, this is my dad's house. And I'm just like, all right, man. I will leave your like. I'm gonna go in the backyard. Like, this is a block party. Like, you should have known this was gonna happen. People are gonna be in your house. So I'm like pissed off. At that point, I'm like, we gotta go. Like, this is not it.
that would be a turning point for me too. Yeah.
Turns out he was a Buffalo rapper
Oh, really?
from Buffalo.
Ooh.
I don't know his name. Never got the name. Turns out he was a Buffalo rapper. He's a vlogger too. He was trying to like vlog us. I'm like, I don't want to be on your shitty vlog, buddy.
Yeah.
The last thing I want to do is be on your bum ass vlog. And, like, he's trying to vlog. He's like, yo, look at this.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, get the fuck out of here. Like,
It's a movie.
God.
get a job. Why are you vlogging?
Oh, that's amazing.
So, I mean, that's just one. That's just like 4 hours of like
Of a whole trip.
of a whole trip that I don't remember half of the parts.
Was it one of those trips where it was just jam packed with like crazy shit like constantly?
So, Dawson really reminds me of you.
Yeah.
When we're all just sitting around, he's like, let's go, on the go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're always like, let's do something. So I'm just like sitting there and I'm just like sitting on the couch. I'm just like
You're like, oh,
hung as fuck, like 10 a.m. in the morning. And he's just like in my face, like, come on, crack a beer, come on. And I'm just like, dude, I feel disgusting right now. Like, I need a break. Like,
Gotta
you gotta
crack a
give
beer.
me a
That's what
second.
fixes
You know
it.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and the crazy thing is that that's the only time ever where I like drank a beer in the morning and it actually helped. Usually, hungover, I don't want anything to do with alcohol. Like,
well,
nothing.
yeah.
However,
I
for
get
some
what you
reason on this trip, I think it was like part of it was like I gotta rally here. Like I gotta,
Yeah.
I can't do this right now. You know what I mean? Like I'll sleep after the trip.
You'll
which-
drown if you're fucking with all them fucking animals.
dude. And you can't keep up. That's
yeah,
the problem.
exactly. Especially Ben. Ben said he doesn't get hungover.
He was hungover.
He was
I've
hungover,
seen him.
really?
I've seen him. He
Dude,
said he felt
there's
horrible.
no way that after a weekend like that he doesn't have even a little bit of a
He
hangover.
was.
That's insane.
He had a hangover, and then
What,
never seen
all
him
of
again.
them?
I never seen.
I haven't seen him. I think he might still be in. Yeah, everyone was disgustingly hungover on the way home, like to the
my
point
God.
where we're popping Tylenol. Like we're just sick. We have to like sit down at some points to get through the airport. Like
Oh, that's terrible.
Need a
our
fucking
flight gets
walker.
delayed at like I had to take Monday off of work because our flight gets delayed. Like just
Oh, that's
ridiculous.
fucking tough. I was gonna say I wonder what Monday was like for you. You
Monday,
were back today,
Monday,
right?
Tuesday. Yesterday was my first day back to work, but I wasn't really working. I was just like sitting at my desk, like falling asleep.
Yeah.
I've never
Oh,
had
yeah,
a
today's
hangover.
Wednesday. I thought today
Hangover
was
for
Tuesday.
3 days, which I've never had a hangover for 3 days. It's the first time I've had a. Today is finally the first day where I'm like, I'm back to normal, and hence why I'm
Yeah,
drinking a
fucking
Mick
Mickey
Ultra
right
and
there,
getting
baby.
the juice back in me.
Yeah.
You know, but
You can't detox now.
Yeah, fuck that.
no,
Summer,
you should
baby.
see. You should see these bars. That's
Yeah, let's hear that Kid Rock bar story.
Yeah.
so. We get to, first of all, like we get to the strip, and like their strip is called Broadway.
Yeah.
Like it's like this big, like long street. The Nashville Predators like arena's like on it, like a bunch
The
of
national what?
Nashville Predators hockey team.
Oh, Predators.
Yeah.
I didn't use
Yeah.
Predators. Okay.
That's where Joe Rogan's coming in August, and Joe Rogan and Dave Chappelle, by the way, together
Oh,
on a
God,
tour.
dude,
That's
I would
got-
go.
that's
That's
fire, yeah.
that's nuts. August,
Dude, saying Dave Chappelle
September
anywhere is just
3rd,
crazy.
Labor Day weekend, they're coming.
That's fucking sick.
Anyway, get on the strip. There's like bars everywhere. There's the big bars are like Kid Rock has a bar. That's where like Morgan Wallen showed up the one night, which I'm pissed because he showed up the one night I'm out there on Broadway because he lives in Nashville. That's where he lives. Shows up. He goes like Jason Aldean's bar. I hear this loud roar. Turns out the next day I look up on TikTok, he's there. I don't think he performed, but like he'll just like show up.
Yeah.
I think he's trying to like stay a little low key after he said the N-word, but like he's you know, he's more getting out there now.
Yeah.
But the crazy thing is, right, we go to these bars. I've never seen music like this ever, to the point where the bands, you go up to these bands, they all have this thing where if you give them $20, they will play whatever song you want.
Oh my God.
Okay, so I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, what song could I get these guys to play? And like these bands are like very, you know, they're no schmucks. They're like good bands. You know, like they were hired at like Kid Rock bar or Luke Bryan's bar. We get to this one bar and like these guys, you could tell these guys were good. He had a really like deep country voice where it could match like he kind of sounded like
Johnny Cash or some shit.
what's that one guy who's like, baby lock them door, you know, what's his name, Josh Turner. I think his name's Josh Turner.
I know what you're talking about.
So he had that kind of voice. So I'm like, I gotta get this guy to sing like something. So I'm like, fuck it, let's like see if he can do any Morgan Wallen. I asked him to play the song. And he's like, I only know how to play 2 Morgan Wallen songs. And for some reason, all those guys, all those bands on the Strip do not like him.
Really?
And the reason they don't like him is because he's like pop country.
So popular, yeah, probably.
Not even popular. He's like,
It's like
they
bubble
think
gum?
he's like disrespecting country music because it's too pop for them.
I see. Okay.
But however, if you look at the country charts, he's like 7 out of the 10 songs are now number 1. So like you can't
Yeah,
deny, you know what I mean?
probably just
So
salty
I go up
about
to this
it,
guy,
yeah.
I'm like, hey, can you play this song by Morgan Wallen? He's like, I can't do that, but I think I know this new one on the album that I could try to play. And he's like, but this is how it works. I'm like, what are you talking? He's like, me and the band have to take a 5-minute break, and we're gonna go like to the back of the stage and learn the song really quickly.
That's insane. That's
And we're like, how are you gonna do that? And he's like, we all take our phones, we put it up to our ear, and we listen to the song, and we try to like catch the keys of the song. And I'm like thinking, if he pulls us off, that is incredible, because he was singing a very difficult song that has multiple verses, multiple hook. Like it's just like, how is he gonna pull this off? Dude, this guy gets on the stage and I'm like, all right, like we're gonna give it our best shot. And I'm like thinking, this is gonna be horrible. Like these guys are gonna butcher the song. Dude, they were great.
Oh
like
my God.
they were somehow on key. It was almost like they were lying, but you could tell they weren't, because like the drummer in the back's like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to do this. Like, but in reality, he's literally
like-
playing like,
Yeah, exactly.
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So like it's not. But like the guitarists were like really good to the point where like, holy fuck, like they literally put the phone up to their ear, learned the song in
That's
like
fucking
3-4
crazy.
minutes.
They have to be like
Went out and performed
the type of people that are like they're backup musicians and they're just doing this on the weekends to like
Yeah.
like studio musicians, and they're doing this on the weekends or whatever, just to like basically cover costs and shit.
Because I seen like different, like the same band on like different bars the next night. It was the same band, but they were in like Kid Rock's bar the one night, the other night they're in Luke Bryan's.
Gotcha. Yeah.
You know, they're like all bouncing around.
Yeah.
But dude, you ask these guys to play any song you want. That's like, it doesn't even have to be country. It could be like a rock song. You know, you tell them to play rap, they'll literally fucking tell you to fuck right off.
exactly.
But
Yeah.
like, there was like clubs. Like Luke Bryan's bar was first floor, like a cool country bar with like they were hanging like a old car like over the stage. I was like, this is fucking sweet.
Oh, that's sick.
Me and Nick were like there at like 3 a.m. blacked, and we're just like standing there like in the corner, like, dude, this is really cool. Like, but everyone's already gone at that point. We're just like standing there.
Yeah.
Second floor was like an actual club where they're playing like rap music, and like, we were there for 2 minutes because it smelled like shit. Like it
God.
smelled disgusting, but it looked like venue basically.
Okay, yeah.
Then there's a rooftop of that same bar, another band performing, country bar. Like every bar has like 3 floors, different band on each floor.
That's crazy.
Every band is like pretty good.
What's
you know,
the
you
best
could,
bar you were at?
the best bar like that I was at, it was called Tin Roof. It's called Tin Roof, which was like, it was more low key bar. The drinks were only like $6 compared to $12 everywhere else, which is like,
Holy
dude, that's
shit.
why I spent so much money, is you're
Yeah.
just repeatedly buying
Especially when
drinks.
you're blacked. And
I was
you're
at
just like,
on Saturday night. I was at the bar for 12 hours.
oh my God, son.
At the same bar,
And
at the
that-
Kid Rock bar.
That was the day we were at Kid Rock's for a little bit. We went to a different bar. Like, we were just bouncing all over the place.
Did everyone else spend that much money?
Some of us did. Some of us didn't. Some of us were a little smarter with our money. I got to the point where I didn't know that I was spending that much money. I was just,
I know what you mean, though. Yeah.
you know, going up to all the different, tons of different people. Is like, hey, how you do? You know, it's like, you don't know what's going on. You're just like going with the flow.
Yeah.
Like, you're from Buffalo. You know, then
Yeah.
the conversation start. You're just like bouncing all over the place. Like, I looked at my bank account on the way home.
How much money did you spend on drinks?
How much money did you spend altogether and then on drinks?
So altogether, I was around $1,500 to $1,600. However, on Saturday alone, that span when I was in the bars for like 12 hours,
Yeah.
$700.
God, dude.
Dude, I looked
Yeah.
at my bank account in the airport because everyone's like comparing their like losses, and I just look and I'm like, I don't even want to.
You were the worst?
I don't think that was the worst.
Oh my God.
Dude, we were spending, dude, like
Oh my
a lot of us spent a lot of money, like $300 on like scooters, because you could scooter around.
Oh,
Like they have electric
God.
scooters,
Yeah.
and you know, like New York City has bikes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This place has scooters, like electric scooters.
That's
So
insane.
like, because it's so hilly there, you're just like, you're not
Yeah.
gonna fucking bike anywhere. But like, we spent a lot of money on that. The food there is just dude,
I bet it's amazing.
Brisket, dude.
Yeah,
I had this
like
brisket the one night. I was sitting there. I'm like, this is the best brisket I've ever had. Which that was probably the first time I tried brisket. But I was like, whatever this is. I'm sure I've had brisket before.
But you
can't
can't really get good brisket
Yeah.
around here, right? You got to go down.
When you're
south.
just like drunk as fuck eating some food, it's like the best thing ever.
Dude. Hammered. The one day we went to this place called Hattie B's. It's like I think it's like a fast food chain, but there's only a few.
Yeah.
And like we're looking like, Newberry the whole weekend. I want some Nashville hot chicken. Like that's what we want. So I'm like, yeah, all right, let's go to Newberry. Bring him to this place. I get the hot chicken sandwich. He gets the extra hot.
Oh my god.
So up here, right, we get chicken and we get hot. It's not really that hot, right?
Uh-huh.
Like you get hot. Like you go to KFC, they had their hot chicken tenders. It's not hot. It's like a little spicy.
Yeah.
Dude, I got this hot chicken sandwich. I sit down. I take a bite of this thing. My eyes start watering. I'm like, Newberry, you got the extra hot, dude? He's like, yeah.
Oh, and
I'm
you
like,
just had the normal hot.
Yeah. I'm like, you're not going to be able to eat that. There's no way.
That's insane.
Ben's sitting down on the left, and he's like, I got the extra hot, too. Like, I'm going to take this thing down. Ben is, Mr. Like, he's always down for a challenge. Newberry bites into the sandwich, right? And I'm like, looking at the kid, I'm like, dude, I can't even tell what this is going to be like. If mine's this hot, like, his has got to kill him. He takes one bite. His eyes, it literally looked like he started crying. Like, he's just like, I'm like, are you okay? He's like, this thing's really hot. And like Ben's like gets his food and like he's eating it and it's like you could tell it's hot as hell, but he's like, this is fine. You know what I mean? Like,
sweating. He's like, I'm fine.
This is fine. And he's like, Newberry couldn't even finish half the sandwich. Like
I bet. Yeah.
they like they're hot down there. It's hot.
So did Ben finish his?
He finished the whole entire thing.
He's insane.
He's dirty. This kid is dirty, dude. The whole like
His mouth probably burned for like 3 hours after that.
just unbelievable. Like the food was really good there, I will say. But then by Sunday, I'm like, I cannot eat chicken for another
Yeah.
year. That's all
Is
they
that what
eat
you
out
had?
there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that probably mostly what you ate? Right?
That's the only thing they eat out there is this
That's
chicken.
crazy.
Holy fuck.
You couldn't get like a
no
steak?
Chipotle out there.
I don't know. See, I don't know. They had Chick-fil-A. Like I didn't even eat
Isn't
that.
brisket not? That
Really good.
Brisket's not chicken. Is
It's
it?
like
No,
beef.
brisket's
That's-
beef.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like
it is
beef.
beef.
That's like what they're. You get the beef brisket. That's like their
Yeah.
thing too. But like, I only had brisket once, and it was like downtown Nashville. Like at this restaurant, I waited like 45 minutes in line for. Blacked out.
That was this weekend, right?
This was this week.
Okay. I wasn't sure
Yeah.
if you're talking about another time you were blacked out downtown Nashville.
No, that was the only time. That was the first time I've ever been there.
Dude, that's fucking
No,
crazy.
when I went to Nashville, it was just fucking me and my dad, and then my cousin who's a skinhead, but
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them.
he's not actually a skinhead. But I digress.
But he can hang.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, he's been to some meetings, but
yeah.
He's-
He's burned a few crosses.
he's burned a few bridges.
Yeah.
No, I was just like with my dad, so it wasn't really that fired up. But then every fucking bar that I would go to, like you'd get ID'd at the door, and then there'd always be some huge bouncer like fucking tapping my shoulder, like, "Hey, can I see your ID?" And then it was like, I don't know, it's just fucking stupid. It's just annoying.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm with my dad, so I mean,
You can't deny it. Yeah, like you're with
Yeah.
your dad or your mom at a bar. Are you kidding me right now? You're gonna deny
You're
you?
not gonna fucking
What are you,
do
serious?
security like that. That
Yeah.
shit's
oh no, I was just
silly.
saying, I was just gonna say it's fucking ass, but yeah, yeah, that too.
No.
So, yeah, and you didn't get blackout drunk for 5 days in a row.
You weren't like me. You didn't make the same mistake that I did.
No, but I did drive there for 13 hours, and then I didn't even take a nap. I left at like 3 a.m. I drove all the way there, and my dad was like, "You want to go out?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure."
Sure.
And then we went out and got some beers. Yeah.
Crazy.
And I wasn't even that tired. I don't know how.
So wait, so you drove there and then you did you stay for like a week or did you
Just
drive?
for like a couple days.
I was gonna
for
say,
like
if
3
you drove,
days.
like all the way back, like in the same.
And that's enough.
Yeah,
3 days is
exactly.
enough there.
Yeah.
You think so?
3 days, it's just like New York City. You feel like you're there for 9 years.
Yeah, and you're like, all right, now let's wrap it up, right?
You're like, but however, on the ride
How long
home,
were you
it's
guys
like
there? Wait,
Thursday
ride
to
home?
Sunday. On like the plane ride
Oh, I was
home, I'm
gonna
thinking,
say.
I'm like, I gotta go back to Niagara Falls, dude. I'm like, I don't want to go back. I'm like,
Yeah.
I really don't want to go back.
That's the worst feeling on the way home from a vacation.
Yeah.
You shitting me?
and
Is
I'm
that when
just
like you're hungover and you have to like
I'm like,
Especially
back
like
to reality.
a long trip back, it makes it so much worse. It feels like because like it's like waiting just for nothing. Like you're literally like you're perpetually waiting to get home and just still be hungover and feel
Yeah.
terrible, crawl into bed. Like versus on the way to every trip is just like the vibes are just immaculate. Everyone like you could have someone like fucking you could have a bird shit on you and you're gonna be like
That's great.
whatever. That's the vibes.
yeah, like on the ride to New York, fucking drinking beers, thumbs up your fucking ass,
Yeah.
fucking just
Oh, you can
Yeah, on your high
fuck,
horse.
can't beat
listening
it.
to John Denver,
Can't beat it.
just fucking.
Looks like a cock.
They're big
It
on
does.
John Denver down there as well.
They are?
By the way, I heard
Take Me Home.
I heard "Take Me Home" a few times.
Oh, dude, that's amazing.
No,
Yeah.
I heard that. Their big song down there is which is my one of my favorites, "Dixieland Delight" by Alabama. That's like Alabama's like song in like Tennessee. They play at their football games.
Yeah.
Do they like have this little chant like behind the song?
Yeah.
Like they'll they had like no thing. I'm just like sitting there. I'm just like, this is sick. Why does New York not have like their own like theme song?
We have
kind of thing?
Empire State of Mind.
But it's like the kind of thing where like, you know what I mean? Like some people are like, fuck that song. You know what I mean? It's just like
No, yeah, that's like an actual song where like pretty much everybody
knows it.
Like, yeah,
it's a household. Like "Take Me Home, Country Road" is West Virginia University's like that's their
That's
like
pretty
theme
That's
song.
solid, yeah.
Like they all sing that at the games.
That's fucking awesome.
Crazy.
Yeah, that would be
shit.
so fire to have like your own school having like their
Like your
theme
own song.
but everyone knows it. Like even like Tanner said, in other countries like they sing Country Roads. It's like amazing.
Yeah.
That's
It's really
fucking
sick.
dope.
But yeah,
But I was at work today, and completely unrelated, but there's these two Middle Eastern fellas who work housekeeping, and one's tall and skinny, and one's really short and kind of fat, and he always wears like those all white Nikes. And they're both really nice guys. I like them a lot, and they always come up to me, and whenever they're having any kind of like ailment, they don't speak English, so they'll like point to their head if they have like a headache. Or so
Help me.
so today the short fat guy he's like this, and he's like
Who's choking?
this, and then he said he had like a fucking headache or some shit. I don't fucking know I was like, what the fuck is this guy fucking choking you or something? But I was like, okay, here's some aspirin, and he's like, no, I think I have like high blood pressure, and it's like, dude, I'm not your fucking doctor, man.
Yeah,
like, get the
what?
fuck out of here. Go to
you
work.
need to help me.
Get to work, you fucking piece of shit.
get back to it.
No, they're actually really cool. I like them a lot. But I'm not a licensed physician anymore.
Kyle just has a whip.
He gave
at
it up.
at the front counter. Who whips people that come up? All the workers. Oh, that's funny.
Those guys are cool, though. I don't know what the fuck their names are, and they don't know what mine is. But they always buy a Monster, and they always get Advil. And I'm like, you probably have a headache because you just fucking drink Monster all the
Monster.
time, dude. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Counterintuitive.
Yeah, you should probably drink some fucking water, man.
Yeah. There's a guy at our every single person at my job just hammers like Red Bulls and like rock stars and like fucking just shit like that. And like but there's this one guy, this is not really relevant to that, but there's this one guy and he fucking walks around. I hate this guy. I don't know if you guys ever have someone that like just the look of them fucking pisses you off. That might make me a dick. But
No, I feel that.
I call him Pudgy. And like I literally like and like me and Tanner and like Taryn like now refer to him just as Pudgy, like that's his name. It's Sir Pudgy, and this guy literally walks around. And he just kind of like waddles up to you and just like smiles. It's like dumb, and I'm like, and he always like makes some stupid like joke, and he's like, did you see the episode of like Family Guy? Pudding, right? And I'm like,
God.
what? Oh, stop! And like, dude, he's one of those guys where like. Do you ever have like people where you literally like physically cringe so hard when they like talk to you? You're just like, oh yeah, you probably do even more than us.
Than the average beaver.
Yeah, Mr. Teacher.
Yeah.
over
Than the
here.
average beaver.
Beaver
Do
teacher.
you have like awkward kids where they try to like make a joke and you're just like, oh,
Oh, you have no idea. There's 85 of them.
oh,
85 of them.
God,
So,
there's bound to be a.
You're getting rid of them soon, though, right?
Gone.
How many?
No,
Oh, you're
already
done?
gone. Yeah, I just got Thursday and Friday left at this point.
That's crazy.
Holy
Been a
shit.
2-month break.
Wow. And is it just half days right now then, right? Or is it full
I
days?
mean, it's just like show up to clean out your room
Fuck.
kind of thing.
Clean out your fucking
Finish grades, stuff like that. I mean, graduation's on Saturday,
Yeah.
so
I forgot, but does it feel like when we were in high school and like it would be coming to an end? Like, is it that excitement in you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably just
Absolutely.
better because it's a job. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Like it's something you're getting paid for.
That's crazy.
You know, it's
yeah.
just like a little different. On top of that, you know. However, I will say I did like it. I thought it was great. I thought the year went by so fast, and some of the kids
Yeah.
are actually cool. I'm not gonna say some of them. You know, most of them are cool.
Yeah.
You know,
You
obviously
miss
we
some
have
of
kids.
them?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
Yeah, absolutely. Some of them are really cool, and that some of the kids actually wanted to do their work. They wanted to care,
Yeah.
which is really cool. You know,
Yeah.
obviously we have some that don't, but that comes with the job you signed up for.
Yeah, right.
So that, you know, that's kind of it. But Overall, not bad.
So I mean, isn't it crazy to think that in 2 months you have to like just start again, like with
Yeah.
like, new random kids?
A new group.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
so
mean,
wild.
that's how it is. The next 35 years of my life.
Yeah.
a new group each. Well,
New group.
you're not gonna.
I will
you
say-
think you'll be like fully like as a teacher for 35 years, or you want to move up to
No,
administration?
yeah.
soon?
I mean, this is just obviously a stepping stone for now.
Yeah.
But for the next time being, I would, probably just going to be this for a little bit. However, I do not want to teach this subject anymore, or like this government and economics anymore.
What would you want to teach it? Like world history.
World history.
Yeah.
Or U.S. history.
Yeah. U.S. history's sick.
I just think economics is just not interesting.
You can't even like. Yeah, how are you gonna excite kids if they're not?
They don't
Like,
have
if
any
you're-
fucking
yeah,
money
if
to
you're not
fucking
even
know
excited.
economics.
It's just not. That also is very true, right? You're
Or
teaching
they
them
don't
how to
understand
handle-
what a dollar is.
You're
Yeah.
teaching them how to I try to teach them the most things that they'll use in their life that are most useful. So I taught them how to open up a credit card, right?
Yeah.
I taught them how to
Credit card
how
fraud.
stocks work,
Yeah.
right? I taught them all the things that they're actually going to use in their life. A lot of the things that I was supposed to teach, I completely left out because I didn't have that much time. I only had 2 days a week with some of these kids. So
Yeah.
a lot of the boring things that I thought was not that useful, that I knew they wouldn't pay attention to anyway, I just left out. Because first of all, I didn't have enough time to cover everything anyway. There was no way to cover everything. in
And
the
there's
time
no
period I
final
have.
exam, right?
No final exam.
Oh well, so
seniors.
you can kind of
Yeah.
fucking.
So I can kind of pick what I think is important and what's not. So that's kind of nice.
That's kind of a nice like leeway. Right?
However-
To-
Some of the material, like if I taught world history, I would just be in way, I think that stuff is way more interesting. I think like World War II, World War I, all of that is by far my favorite.
that falls under world history, obviously, right? Like,
Yes.
Like I always thought it was.
Yeah,
like
it's world
US
history. That's
that,
the
like, obviously-
second. That's the so there's obviously World History 1 and 2 that you take in high school. We took
Oh yeah, okay.
we took the first one in 9th grade, the second one in 10th grade. If I
Yeah.
could pick anything, it would be 10th grade U.S.
Yeah,
history, just
well-
because that's like the World Wars.
Yeah.
9th grade is like. Fucking
Oh my God, yeah,
ancient.
I'm not. That's not my thing either. Is that
That's just
ancient
like-
history? I
yeah,
mean, that's what I've
ancient
Yeah.
been
history is just.
teaching myself for the last couple weeks is touching up on that stuff because I just do not think it's interesting. But however, I'm taking my content exam on Friday, and that's some of that stuff's gonna be on there, so I'm just trying to touch up on it.
Yeah, you gotta like know that.
I'm watching like
Fucking Hammurabi
Green.
and shit.
oh my God, yeah, John Green. What's that show he's got called? It's like the 10-minute videos, Crash Course.
Oh yeah.
Watching
yeah.
a lot of those. It's like a lot of those to touch up on like.
If you taught it though, I feel like you would know it a lot better. Like I feel like because you're just so fresh into knowing or like having to. Also, after you get like tenure, they don't like switch you around your subject, right? Like
Sometimes they
Yeah.
will. Like I had a teacher next door who was like 60, and they switched them into government, which I don't know why. That's got to stink.
that fucking sucks. You have to relearn everything, right?
Yeah, you're basically like this year. A lot of the material that I haven't learned for 5 years, I had to reteach myself to teach to other people, which kind of
That's
is sketchy,
Yeah.
right? First of all, it's sketchy. Second of all, I'm not that teacher who's like 30 years into it, where I'm a encyclopedia.
yeah, exactly.
So
That's
you know what I mean.
tough.
However, I never came across like someone asked me a question, I'm like, I'm gonna have to get back to you on that. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not that deep.
Plus, all the kids are so
Yeah.
like fucking stupid. Like you could just say something. Like if you think about yourself in high school and you're like asking a fucking
Yeah. I would definitely like when I was in high school, I was not
Kid
asking a lot of questions.
that required any sort of.
When I'm a senior,
No.
I'm a senior. I'm just like I can't even imagine what I was
In
like.
Niagara Falls, you could just say "shut up, nerd," never high five in the classroom. If someone
Yeah.
asks some shit like that, it's not like some like city schools or like whatever. Like I always just compare it to Long Island because everyone that I know from there is so basic, and they just have like white people around them. Like I bet that they all like they'd ask like. So like when was Rome founded?
Yeah, I mean
have
you
to fucking,
will
like,
have you
oh,
will
God,
have kids
shut
like
up.
that.
Yeah.
You will have kids like that where they're like so they may be smarter than you, but like we were warned about that. That's literally like warned in college. Like you're gonna come across kids who are gifted.
Yeah.
Which means like some kids are below, some people are average, and then there's gifted kids that literally could possibly be smarter than you in your
Yeah.
subject area. But like when you get to that point, which first of all I don't have a lot of those kids. I probably do have a few maybe, but there's not a lot of them compared to
right,
if I was in a different district and there's a few of those kids where you have to like differentiate the work. Like you're giving some kid different packets. Like some kids who are like lower, some kids are higher. I don't really have to deal with that as much as other school districts do, which has got to be a nightmare. That's got to be tough.
That's gotta be
Dealing with kids who
awful.
may be smarter than you. And then
Jesus
how are you?
Christ.
You probably feel terrible teaching those kids because
Yeah, what do you do?
what can you teach them? that's different.
Well, I feel like you just follow like I feel like the problem would come from like political debates where like they're trying to like basically like out argue you, and like I feel like you have to be like diplomatic about it. You know what I mean? Like
I've had that happen a million times. Like, because obviously with government, you're talking about politics a lot, and you have kids who are. However, we're in Niagara Falls. That was probably a gunshot.
We're in Niagara Falls. Yeah,
we're in
exactly.
Niagara Falls. Literally a gunshot, as
exactly.
possibly could have been a gunshot. You know,
Yeah,
we're in
with a
Niagara
gunshot,
Falls
yeah.
where most kids have the same views, and it's just the views that their parents have.
yeah. Oh my
So it's
God.
really not that hard. However, you do have the occasional, you know, opposite side where you're just like, how do you approach this? You know, and it's just like, you know, I have to be neutral.
Yeah, you have to be
Which is
super
fine because
diplomatic, right?
my views anyway are pretty neutral anyway, so
Yeah.
it's fine. But, you know, you have some kids saying some outlandish things. I almost had a fight a couple weeks ago about the whole Palestine,
Yeah, I remember you
Palestine,
saying
you know. So it's kind of like, what are you going to say to stop this? And now you can like throw another point out there because the other kid's going to get pissed, right? So it's
Exactly.
kind of like, what do you do? Like one kid's like, you know, kid said F Israel or like F Palestine. I think he said F Palestine. And one kid's family is from Palestine.
Oh God.
So I'm just like, the kid's like, what? And I'm just like, oh God, like here we go. Like, what do I do? Like, I haven't been taught like this part about like how do I de-escalate the situation.
Yeah, I feel like they don't fucking teach. You got to learn that shit on the fly, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, like
Was there
classroom
any-
management.
Yeah.
You do like learn how to, you know, like whole classroom management thing, but like there's learning things and then there's actually performing them,
Yeah.
which is a little different.
I bet, right?
And some of the kids are literally larger than me. They're seniors, are 18 years old. They're bigger. And I'm like, if a fight does break out right now, what is going to happen here?
Yeah.
You know?
You gotta like
Yeah.
you have to beat the shit out of someone or you're gonna get your ass
Yeah.
beat.
It's not even like they're going to try to beat you up, but like, how do you break these two?
I feel like all the guy
Kids
teachers
up.
that I think of now that you say that are just like burly like men, like they're
Yeah.
like giant, like and they probably had to do that. They
Yeah.
yeah.
The
strong survive.
They
Yeah.
just like know karate. Like
Yeah.
even some of the smaller guys, they're just
Yeah.
like, they'll know how to throw like a crazy flying knee.
Yeah, exactly. They got like jujitsu, like classes.
They're
taking.
jujitsu, like, you know, they're just training Brazilian jujitsu. They just know how to take you down in a lock. That's part of it. There is schools where the teachers have to wear jeans to school. The Falk School out in Buffalo, the teachers, like, they're told that they have to wear jeans because they have to literally take kids down into a lock.
That's
Like,
fucking
put them
crazy.
into, like, a headlock or, like, some kind
Fucking
of
tombstone with
some
little
kind of
shits.
skill.
So they have to like they're only gonna hire people that are like
Part of the job is you can't be a little guy.
Be able to beat a
Like,
fucking kid's
you have
ass.
to be able like you have to.
Dude,
That's crazy.
I went to this church school with this kid, so this is a good story. I went to church school with this kid back in the day, and he went to Stanley G. Falk School. I observed there like 2 years ago, right? So I was probably, at this point, I was maybe 11 years old going to church school with this kid who went to the Falk School, and this kid got angry the one day, and like, you know how I am. I like to like fuck around with
Yeah.
people, talk. This kid takes a chair, just whips it off the wall, and I'm just like, that's why he's at the Falk School. This kid
Yeah.
whipped the
Holy
chair.
shit.
And like, we're in church school. This is like a place of,
You're at
of
church,
worship.
bro.
What are you doing throwing chairs? And like this kid, they didn't even kick him out. He was back. Like they brought him back. And I'm just like
Oh,
thinking in my head. So
God.
like when they told me like I had to observe at this Falk School, I'm just like, what's gonna happen here? Like and these
Oh
you could
my
tell these
God.
kids are just a short temper.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, you're like
and these
you're playing
teachers,
with
the way
fire.
they teach these kids, like they're screaming at
Just
them.
barking at him.
Like, hey, sit down. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They're
you,
just like,
you
oh
almost
my
have.
God. You're
I
just
think
like,
of like
what's
there's like definitely like I've had teachers like I think of like where it's like you could see them where they could probably fit in there. You know what I mean? But it's like they could probably also kick your ass. You know what I mean? Like
Or
That's-
just the
that's what they
fucking.
need.
It was an interesting experience, and like the college literally told us if something happens, you cannot do anything about it. You have to let whatever happens. You
What do you-
cannot jump in, or there'll be a lawsuit. And we're just like, okay, if a teacher's getting pounded out 5 feet away from me, I'm just gonna have to sit there and let it happen.
what do you mean? Like what? Like they're saying that if a teacher's like getting their ass beat, you
If
can't
there's
help
any
the
kind of
teacher?
altercation, you cannot jump in and help
That's crazy.
because it's like a lawsuit towards a school.
That's
that could
insane.
possibly
Holy
happen if you
shit.
happen to like, you know, drop a kid down, he hits his head on the ground or hits his head on a chair, or
But then
you get hurt.
yeah.
Like there could be a lawsuit. There will be a lawsuit.
But
you know
you're
what I mean?
saying like they have to wear their jeans, like these teachers, like, and they put the kid in a headlock. Like that's okay though.
Yes, because they work for the school. They're like under.
Oh.
We don't. We're just, like, there
when you were
visiting.
when you were observing.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
understand.
so, like, I
thought
wor-
you were talking about like other teachers can't like help other.
No,
teachers.
the other. If
That's
you
okay.
are employed by that district, then you can help.
Yeah, by all means.
Yeah.
But we're not. We're in
Yeah.
there.
Fucking boxing
me and
gloves.
Paul. Me and Paul. We're both sitting in there. We're like just sitting in the back. We're like, what's gonna happen today? You know, like, and you can just
is
hear
it like rowdy?
the best part is you'll just be in like a very quiet classroom. There'll be a couple kids with their headphones on, and then like the door will be open. You'll just hear these loud screams, like something's crazy happening down the hallway, and the teacher will be so calm about it, they'll just nonchalantly shut the door, like nothing's happening.
Jesus Christ.
And me and Paul are just sitting there, just like giving each other like these big eyes, like, what's going on down there? Like,
exactly.
you know, and they just close the door like nothing, you know, it's a regular day at school.
Do they have any like straight A students that come out of there, or are they usually just like shitheads?
Yeah, there's some very smart kids that come out of there that are they just have either bad home lives or
they
they're
probably just did shit.
a lot of kids from the falls are there. You know, they'll get
bet.
kicked out, but they're smart, but they just have terrible behavior problems. I mean, it could be one situation where they get kicked out of there.
Yeah.
You know,
makes sense.
someone said something to them. You know, they lose it and they're just gone.
Yeah.
Can't go back to school.
Fucking kids that are like murderers and shit.
Yeah.
You're like, holy shit, where'd you come from?
Oh
I
my
think
God.
I think of like certain kids like we were even like at school with where it was like they were just like rowdy ass kids where like they came around and it was like they were ready to just like fucking go with you anytime. Like you would like make eye contact with them. Like, what?
There's absolutely nothing to lose
No.
for a
Yeah,
lot of them. So
exactly.
like, what are you gonna do?
No,
You know?
especially like bullying. Like there was kids that had like full on like beards when we were in middle school. You know what I mean?
I was literally 5 foot taller.
Yeah.
Some kid coming up to me, he's giving me a titty twister.
Yeah, for real. Kid, like, I remember this one kid, he, like, walked around all of us, and, like, we had, like, that shitty, like, turkey and gravy and, like, our mashed potatoes. He would lick his fingers and stick it in everyone's fucking food, and we'd be like, bro, what the fuck? He's like, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah,
I
here
was
we
like,
go.
Oh, you're right.
I'll never forget eighth
Yeah,
grade.
get a nice job when I fucking graduate. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Fucking
I'll see you
gonna raise a
eventually,
love
buddy.
family.
Yeah. I'll never forget 8th grade. I'm still
gonna
at
get a
this point. I'm
job.
still a midget. I'm still 4'8" maybe in 8th grade. First day of school, I'll never forget. I got these new blue Zig Techs. You remember the Zig Techs?
Is that Reebok?
Yeah.
These high top Zig Techs that were out.
Yeah.
Everyone's like raving over them, right? It's a cool thing to have at that point. Cool as in, was it actually cool? No. However, then it was
like
a
what
thing.
Cyrus
It
is
was like
back in
Zig
the day?
Techs, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Walked into school, I feel great. Got a fresh fit on, fresh Abercrombie and Fitch.
There you go.
The whole get up. Dude, looking back, fuck, man. But,
Yeah.
you know, get to school, I'll never forget. This girl comes up to me, she goes, I'm sitting down, looks at my shoes, goes, you have really big feet. And I'm like looking on. I already was very insecure about it. I had a size 10 shoe when I was in 8th grade, and I'm 4'8". So, you know, I look like a clown.
And they fit snug.
The shoes fit great. Yeah, yeah. The
Okay.
shoes fit great.
Okay.
Like, I just had
Some
these
kids wear them big
big-ass
shoes
feet.
just for no
So,
reason,
like,
yeah.
you know, you kind of see, like, I've grown into them now, obviously, but, like, back then, I did look ridiculous. However, this girl, I will never forget this girl, what she said to me that day about my shoes. Like, if you're watching this podcast and you know who the fuck...
Let's call her out. Let's get her on the
fuck
show.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get her on the
Let's see
show.
where she's at right
Let's
now.
get her on the show.
Let's
Yeah,
get some
yeah,
reconciliation here.
This is unbelievable.
How many charges she's got?
Yeah.
What jail is she in at this
Yeah.
point? So how could she say that about my
Put a
shoes?
thumb up her ass.
I won't forget it.
Yeah. Isn't that weird how, like, and also, to be fair, we've probably done that to people in the past where they still think about a comment that we made about them, and they're just probably fucking, like...
They've just got a
Fuck
board with our
that guy.
fucking
Yeah,
faces on the wall, just cutting out our eye holes and
What's
shit.
What's that
Us on a
movie? Fucking
dartboard?
the
Yeah.
Adam Sandler movie where he's like the guy's like fucking Billy
Yeah,
Madison,
yeah,
where the guy's he's crossing people off the list.
Doesn't he, like, apologize?
Yeah,
and
he
he's
calls
like,
up and
"Oh,"
apologizes.
and, like, takes his picture down. Oh, that's good.
I will say that if I was rude to some kids back in the day, which I definitely was, and I feel bad about it, I'm not going to name any names right now. I'm sorry.
I'm
And I
not.
was literally this tall. I was so short. Some of these kids were. I was a dick.
I just bullied the fuck out of him for
this
no reason.
tall, his feet came out the fucking
GJ
ear.
Man
Yeah.
back in the day.
I think we all kind of took that shit though. Like I think like I was definitely a bully to some kids, and I fucking also took my share of the shit. So it's like
You gotta dish it back.
to be fair, I was like 250 pounds and like 4 or 5 in like 7th grade, and I was definitely getting the shit kicked out of me. However, like I mean, I would dish it back on the weaker.
Whoever's the weakest
Yeah.
link.
No, I wouldn't take it out on people that were bullying me. I would just take it out on the
Just a
lesser.
small- yeah. Just a different guy.
Yeah.
Middle school, that was such a. It's like, what do you even do? It's like you're not going out, you're not getting drunk. You just kind of like hang out, but you don't really know people that well, so you don't really hang out that much out of school. But you just like see each other riding bikes.
It was the worst years of my life.
Yeah,
Yeah, wasn't that fun?
Really a strange time. Actually, 8th grade was pretty great.
8th grade was
eighth
fine.
grade
7th
was
grade was the worst
7th
year.
grade
of my
was
life.
for real. Like it was like just I literally like lost weight after that. I that was the year I went from being a morbidly obese kid to just like average just schmuck.
I was so short. I was not doing too hot.
Yeah.
Just doing bad. I was down bad every day. And the kids were just tough. They were tough, man. There were some very large kids at that point that already hit puberty, but I definitely didn't yet at 7th grade.
Yeah.
So, it was just tough.
And we also came from GJ Man.
we come from, the most
we came from
nice,
the country club.
Yeah, the country club of elementary schools in Niagara Falls.
And, went to this
That's a good point,
this demon town.
Yeah.
You just go there. It's really dark
just a bunch
every
of
day.
fucking goblins, fucking running around with fucking...
Oh, my
Dude,
God.
and I feel like the teachers was just really mean, too, for some reason.
Yeah, teachers did not have your back at all.
In 7th grade, they're just really mean.
No, yeah, they turned up quick from 6th grade, your teacher's all nice and shit, and then in the 7th grade, they're just fucking...
Yeah, 6th
just
grade, you're
fucking
still...
giving you
6th grade, the
lashings
teachers
and
were
shit.
so great.
Dude, in 6th grade, you were still... You had to walk in a line in the lunchroom.
And then you're just
And then
thrown.
7th grade, you're literally
Yeah.
you're getting harassed walking down the hallway alone,
Getting your ass slapped by fucking...
You know what the weirdest part of that school was, LaSalle, was how they had those designated stairwells where you could never see the other,
Oh,
cluster.
yeah.
Yeah,
Me and
it's
Kyle
so
got
weird.
fucking screamed at for that one time.
How weird was that? What was the organization of that school? I forget who was in charge,
Strangest,
but now that I'm, I want to go back there and just be like, what is this?
I know, it's
fucking,
so weird.
Can I get on a committee? Is there a committee I can get on?
Can I be on the committee to redesign this fucking...
What is going on?
You don't even have to redesign the school, just the fucking... it was highways. You had to literally
they're just
walk in,
making kids sad.
Stupid.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Everyone's angry. Our math
Dude, yeah.
classes were using counters, and we're already at that point 16 years old. Why are we using counters?
Counters? I don't remember that.
You don't remember? We're using I'm in math. I'm using the counters still.
What is that?
The
What is
little
that
red, red and
Oh,
blue.
oh,
Why
yeah,
are we
yeah.
using those?
Yeah, I haven't even thought about that in fucking years. I remember that shit. Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
What math were we in?
God, I forgot about that. Oh, my math teacher, no, that was 8th grade. I was going to say it was fucking Tanner's dad. It was
Yeah.
And I just remember, I should not have passed that fucking 8th grade math. First of all, I think we can all agree, math is not our
Math is
subject.
horrible.
I think you're
No,
okay at it.
I was a little bit okay at it, but...
I mean, you also tried. I feel
Yeah.
that's the other thing about, I guess...
Things.
about Niagara Falls though is that I've realized that after friends that went there and talking to people and stuff, it's just this kind of laughed at, encouraged negativity of your grades and shit, where everyone's just kind of okay to be a fucking fuck up. It's so crazy. And I look back on it and I'm like, yeah, I'd laugh and joke and almost brag about oh yeah, I didn't go to math today. I skipped.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone was like, oh, that's whatever. Oh, yeah, me too. I didn't do the math homework. Did you? No. And then I got to college and I'm like, you're a fucking dick if you're not.
I think that only works in middle school and early high school. Because if you're doing that now after college, yeah, I'm unemployed. I don't got no money.
Yeah,
I have no job.
Yeah,
But
that's
think
sick.
about it, all of high school, and then
You're
people didn't
fucking-
have that reformation that I guess the military and college does for you, except for you just have to be at work on time or else you get fired. You know what I mean? A lot of the people are no one really brags about missing work because you just get fired. But that's the only reformation. I'm talking working hard and shit. There's so many people that just will go to their shitty shift at Wendy's. They'll work their shift and then they fucking go home and watch Netflix. They don't do shit. They don't have to worry. I mean, they're living the life. They don't have to worry about homework.
I would definitely have less worries.
Yeah, 100%. I couldn't imagine if I think I'd be
However,
fucking depressed.
At the end of the day, you have to work. How hard you work is the money you make. So.
Yeah, 100%. That's why so many people are
it's a
so
little
bitter.
different.
They're oh, it's the same guy that basically was just a jackass in high school the whole time, and he didn't try. He's oh, I just don't understand why Elon Musk hasn't donated more of his wealth. It's that guy fucking worked his ass off, bro. What are you talking? And I'm not gonna get into all that shit because that's a little bit of whatever talk, but it's just fuck you. You know what I mean?
Dude.
And basically my original point was that all kind of comes from just being around kids now that are in high school still, and they're the bragging of yeah, I didn't turn in this. I didn't turn in that. I'm why are you bragging about that?
I've seen this so many times this year to the point where I see kids and they're dude, I have a 13 in this class. They're giggling about it, and I just want to get up and turn around and be Is this good? Is this good? You want
Yeah,
this?
it's horrible.
Do you want this?
But I think that's literally such like I've talked to friends from like school and they were like, yeah, like we had like only 1 or 2 kids that didn't go to college and the rest like joined the military, and I was like, we have like.
All of
I only
them.
know like 1 or 2 people that went to college from our like graduating class.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
But all the kids in high school, they literally like shove them out the door. They'll like pass anybody to get them through the door,
Yeah, that's true.
just to like
They
save
had
their numbers.
That one
probably.
program where like I knew kids that literally.
Oh yeah,
were
what's that
never-
called? Pride.
Pride,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. Got Pride. Fuck
I
yeah.
got Pride.
Yep.
Wasn't it Pride Month recently?
Yeah, it
It's-
was. Yeah.
Is it?
Is it
it's
current- oh,
no
it-
longer anymore.
It's not currently.
It's no. Is it over?
I don't
I
know.
believe it's over. I think it was the month of.
No, it's June, I think.
What day is it? Oh yeah, we're still in Pride Month, right? We're getting
dude,
towards the end of the month.
I literally
Yeah,
don't
we're
even
in
know
Pride Month.
the
Yeah.
dates anymore. Like it could be July for all I know.
Just Father's Day though. Blow your dad for Pride Month.
That's true. Celebrate Paul. Jesus Christ. Oh.
By the way, I
boy.
did enjoy that podcast you did yesterday with Marco.
That was
That was the best one I've ever seen.
That was a good one. We're gonna do that again with him.
Yeah. I was
a
gonna say
great talk.
we
I
gotta
watched
do,
the whole
like,
entire thing.
four
I
of
was-
us, like,
Yeah, we're gonna get all of us in a
That was
circle
great
and
talk.
fucking.
That dude is absolutely hilarious.
Oh, dude, he's a clown.
Oh,
Next like Monday or Thursday, we should definitely have him and do it because obviously I won't be able to record one this weekend.
I got a lot
No.
to say to him. That I was like thinking in my head about as he's talking, like a lot of points.
No, yeah, write that shit down.
Yeah.
Then we could do it probably at the Matt and Justin studio again.
Yeah, I gotta listen to that.
No,
It
yeah,
was a good
it was
one.
good.
Talking
Yeah.
about a lot of good. The parties that he was talking about
No,
towards the end of the podcast.
yeah.
He talked about I had that one party.
Uh-huh.
That dude's a clown for that.
No, yeah, those parties were so much fun. But yeah, it starts off with like a lot of political talk
Yeah,
and
no,
all of his
one
views.
of the
and
questions would be the political talk.
yeah,
I wanna ask
and
him a lot
then
of
we went into some like party and like fun stuff.
Yeah.
Cause
That
like
was good.
I was talking to him, I was like, "Are you sure you want to like do like fun like fucking drunk stories?" And she's like, "Yeah, sure." So we did it.
why not, huh?
We did it both. But
Did it
then-
both, best of both worlds.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a more political
my
one
way.
or something.
Just
next
dedicate
time
one
we-
to politics.
Yeah, just for like his whole origin story. But
Yeah.
either way, shout out Debo
First woman mayor. And,
Dude.
in Buffalo. Yeah,
in
she
Buffalo.
just India Walton. Yeah, there we
Can't
go.
believe that. I mean, it kind of looked like they're like Byron Brown
that guy's
almost didn't want to win because he's literally been in there. I mean, was he running for his fifth
He was
term?
going for his
Yeah.
fifth. Yeah.
crazy.
It's almost like he didn't want to be in there anymore because I'm pretty sure he did not campaign at all.
Yeah, I just saw one commercial and it was just him shaking people's hands around the
Yeah.
city.
Yeah.
I love that handshake where people hit you with a
Stupid. What am I supposed to do? You high five?
Byron Brown.
uh,
Unbelievable.
Yeah, no, good riddance.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I don't fucking.
Yeah, I don't really know about.
Yeah, I don't really know local politics all that much. Which
The
I
woman who
probably
was just
should.
voted in, I believe her first name is India.
Yeah,
that's
India
what
Walton.
he's
Yeah.
saying,
She is making it so, I don't know the term, but she's basically making it so they don't listen to the government anymore. We are not going to no longer, Buffalo's like no longer. So basically any immigrant that wants to come here, they can.
Oh wow.
So obviously there's two ways of the spectrum. People are going to be very happy about that
Yeah.
and other people are not. So it's going to
Yeah.
be interesting to see. I like it. And also Andrew Yang got smoked. He
What?
lost.
To who?
New York City.
In
he
the
lost.
mayoral race.
To
Yeah.
who though? Who
I don't even know who won yet. I don't
Did
even
De
think it's.
Blasio again? Did De Blasio?
I don't know.
No, I don't think.
I think De Blasio's done.
No, it was someone's son. I thought. So, wasn't it De Blasio's son that was running too, or someone?
I'm not sure, but I
Someone-
know
Jeez.
Andrew Yang conceded because he ruined his campaign with one single tweet.
What did he say?
He tweeted about how he was like supporting Israel, and
Oh.
people were very angry.
Oh yeah, I
that's
saw
a-
that.
I,
Yeah.
I think Andrew Yang's great, but just not political. I
Yeah.
think his politics. It's like I think he's a really. I don't know. Maybe you should go into like stand-up comedy or something, even though he's not even a comedian. Like he's not fun. I just think he's
like
a good guy.
like public speaker type
yeah, he
shit.
is.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
I want to look that up, but
That's
Um,
sure.
Yeah, I guess we could wrap it up if we want.
I think I gotta head.
Thank you all for listening.
East. Cheers, folks, for another good podcast.
Right, the fuck this. Oh, there's Gypsy trying to get in.